Yo, 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 yo. Welcome back. Sorry about last week, by the way. Was a little under the weather. Could not make it happen, but we are here today, and it's going to be a good one. Say hi in the chat. We got Striped Goat, David Robertson, Dov Burr, Christian. What's up, guys? What's up? Let's scroll up a little bit. Justin in the house. Dapperplex. Is that how you say it? Tricky Chat. It's been a long time. It's been a week. It's been 1 week. That's it. All right. What we're going to do today is we're going to take a look at my new site. We're going to take a look at my new chess site that I vibe coded in Astro. I wanted to get a full experience of what it's like using AI for, this static site kind of concept in 2026. March 2026, I should say. Obviously, things are moving very rapidly, the experience could be different in September of 2026. But I want to report in and give my thoughts. And I'll also direct your attention to an article. I see our thumbs down troll is here again today. All good, always. They're always here. Good little lap dogs over to the side here. What's up, Trey? It is going to be a fun one. I think the AI, I know everybody's probably sick of hearing it by now, which is an angle we should talk about. I don't know, honestly, what people's tolerance for AI really is. I mean, we could say that it may not matter how good it gets because the tolerance for it is getting lower and lower and lower each day that passes. So I don't know. We have a lot to talk about. We'll do Q&A, but we're going to start with taking a look at the website. We're going to start with, why does everybody say it's been a minute? Like I've been gone for 6 months or something. It's been a week. Maybe maybe you haven't been here in a while. That's fine. Maybe you haven't been here in a while. Good morning, Lizzie. Good morning, Kilo and Alan and Keshav. Creative Waff says AI sucks. I don't know if I would go that far with it. Okay, let's go ahead and let's screen share here. Well, I can just let's go to my reaction screen. Okay. Let's take a look first at some of you. Well, I believe did I start this build? I think I started this build on a stream a few weeks ago. And then I left it alone for a while, and then I came back and I cleaned it up and I got it done and I pushed it out. And it is here. So we'll take a look at it. And if you want to see on the inside, I can show you some things. And then we will get on to the vibe coded site. This is not the vibe coded site. Okay. This is, by the way, I feel like maybe in the footer, we should start putting badges, like, hey, this was not vibe coded, right? Like, hey, this was done the old school way. Yeah, this is a non-vibe coded website. So nice little hero section here. I did vibe code a YouTube connector plugin though. I'll show you guys that real quick because that is an important part of what's going on here. I'm also recognizing that this title got quite long and we're gonna need a little cap on that. So, I mean, we might make a little adjustment here. You never know. Live on the fly. Let's go ahead and get this put in. Okay. Let's go ahead and take a look. So we see these YouTube videos right here. I'm going to go to plugins and I'm going to go down to, what did I even call it? Code snippets, Etch, tube sync. So essentially what this does is you go to YouTube videos, you go to I don't think I should go to settings because I think it's got an API key and all that stuff in there. but you hook up your channel to it. And essentially what it does is it downloads everything into WordPress and keeps it automatically synced. So whenever I publish a new video, it just goes and grabs it. It creates a custom, a post in a custom post type. Okay, so the data literally lives in WordPress, and I can loop through it just like I would loop through anything else. It automatically categorizes it by topic, which is pulling from the playlist name. So whatever playlist is in there becomes the video topic. It also is able to identify the type of video, whether it's a video or a live stream, or whether it's upcoming, as you see here. And then obviously I can facet them and you can search them and all of that. It pulls in the body of the video, okay, into Gutenberg. Now, Gutenberg is a mess right now because this website has SureCard on it, and SureCard's got a number of blocks that are not V3 API blocks, and non-V3 API blocks break Gutenberg in block editors, block themes, and Etch and things like that. So I really need them to get those to V3. Get on the ball, Like, we need those upgraded, okay? Get those to V3 so that all this backend can continue working again. But all this content is pulled in automatically. And this just makes life really, really, really easy for me. I do not have to manually do anything with my videos. My videos are just handled. Everything is handled automatically, okay? And that means my homepage, my footer, everywhere these videos are listed on the site, they all update automatically. The website manages itself. I just have to do my YouTube thing. Website manages itself, okay? That is the one aspect of this that is vibe coded. That is, I will pause, by the way, and just have a little discussion about that. If you are a plugin developer and you are building little peripheral type plugins, you are cooked for the most part. Like you are, in fact, indeed cooked, I would say, because this is the kind of plugin that is not large scale. It doesn't have a lot of consequence to it, and it doesn't require a lot of maintenance. And so the idea that you would build this and sell it when people can literally just recreate it. And again, there's not a lot of consequence. And it's not a plugin also. There's not a lot of scope to it. There's not a lot of scale to it. I don't need this on every single website that I build. This was a very niche thing for this specific project. And so I was just able to create it. I was able to check the box, and I didn't have to pay a third-party developer to do it. That's a scenario where if you are doing that kind of bottom tier kind of work, you're in trouble. You're in trouble. That can't be your plan going forward, okay? That is reality. That is reality. Let me go edit with Etch real quick. I want to fix this. This is bothering my OCD. Okay, so if I come in here, we can take this item.title, okay, and you can truncate words, okay? And I'm gonna go with like 8, 11. How many do I want? 10? Let's do 10. Let's truncate to 10 words. Save. So very easy, like little dynamic data modifier there in Etch, and then we'll go back to the front end, and now it's going to truncate this, and it won't become like this giant card. Okay, so that's the one vibe coded aspect of this site. Where am I hosting? Rocket.net, rocket.net. So let's go down. You see our flagship products. I really like how, I have an intro component, like a section intro component. And I really like how I was able to do this with props. So if I come down here, I'm gonna select this section intro. And I want you to see some things. Obviously you've seen before where you can determine whether we're showing or hiding the lead and CTAs, but I added this little prop called divider style. Okay, you also know that I can go left, right, or center, or even 2-column these. Okay, there's nothing in the second column because I've hidden the buttons and such, but what I added is this prop called divider style. So if you notice on the front end, right, there's this cool little pattern divider. Let me zoom in today. Oh, there we go. Okay, there's this cool little pattern thing This stretches all the way across, and it makes this heading act as a visual divider. I get to choose whether that's the style of this section intro or not. So if I flip this off, it's just gonna become a regular like eyebrow heading. It's not gonna have that cool little thing. If I say divider style, it's gonna change up the padding. It's going to, or the gap, I should say, and it's gonna add that little accent line to actually create a divider. And what I did is even when it's left, that accent line only goes out to the right and it does not go out to the left, and everything is nice and left aligned. So this section intro component has a lot of flexibility in it, a lot of flexibility, and I really like that. Let's go ahead and close some of these tabs that we don't need. We don't need the Rocket tab. We don't need this tab. Okay, let's keep going. So I've got my Etch. I've got automatic CSS. I designed these cards right here to where the lead comes in on hover, okay, which is quite nice. But on mobile, it is showing all the time. I'll come down. Here's the divider again, okay? We come down to our 3 education aspects, page building 101, inner circle, YouTube, okay, that's all fine and dandy. I built this new recent appearances section. So I've got the big kind of headshot hero image over here. And then I built this little table, which also has a unique hover style depending on the type of appearance it was. So if it was an audio, like a podcast, it's got a green accent color. If it's a video, it's got a blue accent color. We have custom icons, and then it hovers in the accent color style with a little transparency action there. And that is all pretty nice and clean. It's got the date in there. And then you can go to all appearances if you want. We've got this nice accent pattern. This is using automatic CSS's custom textures and overlays, surfaces and overlays. So I went into custom surfaces and I defined one called stripes and stripes reverse. So this is reverse where it comes up from the bottom. And so anytime I need these little, here's another one right here. Anytime I need one of these little accent kind of styles, I just call one of the custom surfaces that I created in automatic CSS. I'm just using a repeating linear gradient for that. You can control the size, position, all this good stuff. It can have its own overlay. It's got a gradient overlay, so we're referencing the body background color to transparent. Lot of stuff going on here. Just lots of components, lots of utilities, lots of frameworks. That makes it very, very, very easy to assemble the site. So as I'm going, I just put in the section intro component. I determined that I want the divider style. I determined that I want this aligned to the left, and then I build out a nice grid. This is a standard grid. I took whatever the latest post is, I just spanned it 2 rows, 2 columns. That's it. So it kind of takes the latest post and makes it bigger than all of the others to fill out this little grid. All very, very, very standard stuff. Gave it a nice little zoom hover effect when you hover, okay? And then I just used a recipe from Etch, which is the reveal footer recipe, and created a little reveal footer component that reveals the footer as you scroll down the page. This was just a pattern from the patterns library for the footer. Didn't really have to do much work there. This is a custom header with a custom menu, custom little navigation here. And I animated these links, well, 2 different animation styles. One is this switch effect on hover. And I just did that with, I've actually done a video on how to do this before. I just did that exact same technique. I created a component out of it though. I will show you the component. So anytime I want one of these little switch links, I just pop a component in and it's a done deal, okay? It's actually easier with components because, as you probably know, the word home has to actually appear twice and it has to swap them back and forth on hover. One of those home instances has to be real and the other is fake. I'll show you how I did this, but it's even easier when you use a component. This whole thing is custom, and then the entrance animation. So when I click this and they animate in, that is automatic CSS. That is automatic CSS's new effects library, okay? So we have on enter, on exit, on visible. We have border effects, shadow effects, transforms, transitions. We have new easing presets, okay? Snappy, gentle, bouncy, elastic. These are actually customizable. You can go to an easing generator and just generate really cool easings and then just put them in here as your custom easings. That's really awesome now. This new effects library is pretty dope. It's a dependency-free effects library. It's pure CSS. All good there, okay? All right, let's just quickly go through some of these pages. We have, I created this little sub-hero section. So every little sub page, I just pop in the sub-hero pattern and it gives me this nice pattern gradient effect with the intro. This is the same intro component as the others that I was showing you. I created this little timeline, very easy to create. Not hard, just kind of standard stuff, but it kind of fades into this bottom pattern, basic little, 2-column section down at the bottom. I just shoved everything to the left on mobile. So if you actually bring this in, let's come down here. So you actually just bring this in, bam, everything just goes to the left and it's nice and clean. Just nice and clean all the way down. This is a component as well. We can look at how that was done as a component. Let's go ahead and keep going though. Let's get out of here so we don't need that. All right, so that's the about page. Let's go to the videos page, which takes you to YouTube videos. Guys, this is, it's just a grid. Like this comes from the CPT, just created a big grid. These are facets, they work, okay? For all of those asking, hey, does Etch have facets? No, it doesn't, but if you have WP Grid Builder or Facet WP, they work flawlessly. Absolutely flawless, okay? With our native, this is not even a WP Grid Builder grid. This is a manually created grid built with Etch, using Etch's loops. It's so easy. It's very, very, very easy stuff, okay? It's also got pagination for the pagination. I'm sorry, my fault. Pagination. For those of you who are wondering, hey, can I get pagination in it? Yeah, you can get all the things. You can get all the things, okay? There's nothing stopping you. Nothing stopping you. So this is the videos page. Very simple, straightforward. We will go to the blog page. Okay, same intro. Little texture here. Surface, custom surface up top. And then we have the same exact grid, and I just said, you know what, instead of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, instead of, wait, what is it? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Instead of 6 items, I just want like 12, and then we'll paginate those. Done deal, done deal. This page was like, everything that was required to assemble this page was already built. So this page got built in like 8 seconds. It was just like, just plop it in, change some values. Okay, that page is done. Which is the great thing about building, reusable, flexible components. Let's go in, let's see the new single blog post template. This is new for the creation of this site. So I went with a very large hero and I stuck all of the content for the hero down in the bottom left corner. And then what I did is I turned off the sticky header on blog posts, so it does not follow you down. I also have this reading bar line, which is a pattern component inside the patterns library. That's literally plug and play. If you want one of those, you just paste it in and you're done. And then I've got smart spacing on here. I've got content grid on here. Very, very simple. Just put the focus on the content, move on with the life, Okay, let's go out and let's look at free course. This is for Page Building 101. Same kind of situation. Got a nice embedded video here. We've got the 5 S's over here. Built some cards for these. These are cards I'm also using elsewhere. I built this little taped letter kind of style thing here. So it's got tape on the top and the bottom, like a tape effect or whatever you want to call it. And then I've got these FAQs, a little accordion component here, very easy to just pop in and you're done. Built some testimonial cards, looped through those, put some logic as to whether they have images or no images. Let's go inner circle. Okay, same thing, reusing the taped letter effect. Come down here with some custom pricing cards. I think I just popped these straight out of the pattern library, added the patterns to them, like the textures, and moved on. got a little, these like little ribbons, as we call them. Insanely easy with automatic CSS. There's a ribbon framework inside of automatic CSS. You just throw a badge in, go ribbon position, and you're done. Ribbon color, ribbon spacing, whatever you want to do with it. Very, very easy to do. There's the same FAQ accordion down below. Let's go to the tools page. I think you guys saw me build this. These are using container queries. If they have enough space to go wide, they will go wide. If they don't have enough space like these, they will stack. So that's very nice. You have the like little section divider effect again being used here. You have this nice little anchor link navigation on the side. So instead of facets, I have an anchor link navigation. And what we're doing here is we're just querying all of the categories and then querying the posts that belong in each category using a nested loop. All very standard stuff. We've seen it before, okay? Let's go out and look at, that's it. The get in touch page is literally just a letter that's like, yeah, fuck off. or click one of these links and message me on social. Okay, so I'll take questions on this. I wanted to get through it pretty quick. If there's anything specific you want to see, drop it in the chat. And we won't spend too much time diving into all of this, but if you're seeing something on the site and you're like, how'd you do that? Or how's that architected? Or how's that structured? Or what did you do there? I'm happy to take a look at it real quick. I'll answer some questions while those requests are coming in. Are you going to share those components in Etch patterns? No, probably, because these are fully designed, right? The point of Etch patterns is that they are unstyled, really unopinionated. All of this stuff is very opinionated stuff. How create I will put this blog post template in. Let's go back to the blog post template. So click on this. You should read this article, by the way. Brand new article that I just published. Are web designers and developers cooked in the age of AI? I think this is a very important article for you to read. But I will put this blog post template in, yes. Can I publish my own recipes from my own site since I have some code I always rewrite many times? Not yet, but that is coming for sure. You will have the ability to put in custom recipes, to share recipes with others. Yes. How can I make a 2-column section sticky on scroll with Etch WP? On the left side, I got the text, and on the right, form following users as they scroll. I mean, fairly basic. We're gonna go to edit with Etch. Oh, should I show you a sneak peek real quick? Let me switch branches, and I'll show you a little bit of a sneak peek. I got too many windows in the way. Let's go here. Let's go. This is not fully approved yet by the team, but we'll take a look at it. We'll take a little look-see, okay? Start to finish, how long did this take and how much time did you save us, save versus other page builder stacks? I did not clock it. I did not really track it. It did not take all that long. I did the one stream where I built some stuff live on the stream. So you could take that time. And then I would say another, I don't know, 10 to 15 hours. Another 10 to 15 hours, and it was pretty much done. Pretty much done. But I didn't track it. I didn't track it down to the minute. What I will say is, versus other builders, I have not used any other builders in a very long time. Bricks is the most recent builder that I've used. Etch is light years faster because everything is available at all times. Like I've gone over this before. Like the tremendous reduction in clicks, the tremendous reduction in cognitive load of going from panel to panel to panel to panel to panel, the creation of components. I would say that creating a component in Etch is about 10 times easier than creating a component in Bricks. That's not even it's not an exaggeration. It's just, yeah. Andreas got a smiley face. I mean, maybe he knows what I'm about to show. I don't know. I did this, by the way. I did this one. This is from me. Okay. I wanted to solve the problem, and this is anybody that works on a laptop. If you work on a laptop, Raise your hand. Raise your hand. Put laptop in the chat. If you work on a laptop, not even like full time. I'm just saying, if you ever work on sites on laptops, put laptop in the chat. Let's see, how many laptop people do we have? Because laptop people are going to love this. They're going to absolutely love this. And this feature is quite more complex, quite a bit more complex than you would imagine it to be, okay? But the laptop people are going to love this. Laptop gang, okay? You're going to love this. But I am solving for problems, okay? And here's what this looks like. So I'm going to hold Option on my keyboard. I'm going to hold Option. And check this out. You've got full zoom abilities, okay? In and out. And look up here, you're going to now see you can put in an exact precise pixel amount, or you can put in a scale amount. And you can see how your website is going to look on very large screens. On a 2577 screen, this is what it's going to look like. I can go out even further, okay? This is a grid of images that is only 3, so they're just going to keep expanding. And you kind of got to know this. Like, that's what these are going to do on a very large screen, while everything else appears to be much smaller, right? So you might want to make an adjustment here with this. But you now have the ability to zoom in and out on the canvas. A little double click over here will reset it back to 100%. And this gives you a lot of flexibility, especially if you're on, look at, even when I have something, like if I do section intro, I've got something in the sidebar. That is compressing the canvas, right? And so what if I don't want to compress the canvas? What if I want to scale this out? And I want to still bring this down. And even when it's scaled out, it still has the ability to check fluid responsiveness through the entire range, okay? This is very, very handy, very useful, okay? Yeah, I worked on that. I worked on that for you guys, okay? I worked on that for you guys. For myself too, okay, let's be honest, but also for you guys. And it, you know, PR-wise, I worked on it just for you. It was all for you. It was not at all for me. So yes, thank me later. I will take your donations or your kind emails and DMs when this. Hopefully, it gets released. It's got to get past the team. They gotta give it their thumbs up. Okay. So that was a little pit stop. Sorry, the guy was asking about sticky, okay? Sticky column. Sticky column, okay? Let's see if we can just whip this up real quick. So what you're gonna wanna do is you're gonna wanna have, first of all, 2 things side by side, 2 divs side by side. So I'll throw 2 divs in here, and we'll call this one sidebar, and we'll call the other one sidebar. So I'll switch their positions. So this will be content, and this will be sidebar, right? I got very fat fingers today. It's cold here in Florida, and that makes my fingers a little tight, okay? So this is going to be columns, right? I'm just gonna say columns, content, sidebar. That's probably all we need. Let's just create some BIM classes for that. These are very generic. Don't make generic class names like this. Okay, I'm gonna do grid, and we are going to do let's just do an auto grid. Yeah, screw it, auto grid. Actually, I don't want to do an auto grid. I want to do a 2-3, or in this case, a 3-2, because we want the sidebar to be a little bit more narrow, I would assume. And then you're going to put some content in here, okay? So my content, and what we want to do is we want to put some longer form content in. So I'm just going to say, hey, Claude, okay, give me some raw HTML for a content section with a heading and a bunch of paragraphs. Okay, I'm just gonna get some dummy content for us here, and we'll put that in. All right, section P. Okay, yeah. Go ahead and write this all out. Fantastic. I also want to show you, for those of you who are wondering about spacing out content like this, let me go ahead and grab. I'm just gonna come over here, and we'll take away that H2. We don't even need it. We'll paste all this in. There you go. We got some long form content. And now what you're gonna do is, I've got this columns content. If you're an ACSS user, just gonna throw the smart spacing class on there, and all this stuff will space itself out perfectly. And then you don't have to think about it anymore. Okay, so this is our content side. This is our sticky side. Now the problem with this is, depending on the screen size, you know, are we even gonna be able to see the sticky? Sticky's gotta have a lot of space, a lot of space. Let's do this. Throw in a few more headings and a few more paragraphs. Let's aim for 800 words. Is that too much? 600 words? 800 words, right? 800 words? Let's do 600 words. I don't know. Etch AI to generate that dummy content. Maybe, yeah. I'm sure you could have. I'm sure I could have. Should we try it? I don't even know if AI is installed on this one. I do have the AI chat. I do have Cinema. It appears to be hooked up. Okay. I need 800 words of dummy blog post content with just headings and paragraphs. Okay. No shenanigans. Okay. Just give me the raw HTML. No sections or anything. Bam. Let's just send this and let's see what it says. Okay. Oh, yep. Okay. So I gotta swap my API key. Okay. I'll just do this over here. I'll come back. All right. We're gonna do this off screen. We don't want to burn another API key. Let me see if I can grab this here and let's get this into settings, AI, change the key. Let's do a little save. Let's do a little save here. And let's bring this back. Let's do a little refresh. Let's do a little new chat. Test. There we go. I think we're in action now. Okay. So let's go. Yeah, I just stop. Let's just start a new chat. We don't need that in. Okay. Well, there goes another fucking key. Right there, damn it. The clipboard. There goes another key. There goes up in flames. Okay. All right, here we go. I need 800. Thanks, Zach. Thanks. That's on you, Zach. Okay. That's on Zach. And Zach owes me an API key. I need 800 words of raw blog post content, just headings and paragraphs. No shenanigans. AI responds very well. I think no shenanigans is a technical term in AI land. It does very well with this, okay? By the way, I could talk to this. Literally no sections, no divs, no nothing. Just headings and paragraphs, please. Okay, bam. Okay, let's just see what it spits back. Oh, good. Oh, it was covered by the face. Okay. Oh, you know what? I should change. That reminds me. Let's just go to this. We can get more real estate here. We can get more real estate. Holy smokes. I want the didn't I ask for HTML? Stop. I need the raw HTML, not just the content. Okay. When will we have the ability to use dual or multiple screens when working with Etch? Trust me, people ask for it all the time. I think what people have to understand is it's a web app. It's not a software product. Like it's not a computer app, right? If computer apps often have dual screens, how often do you see a web app with multiple screens? I think in that case, we have to build the ability for multiple users to work on a single page at once. We have to have protections for classes in the database and styles and content and da-da-da-da-da. Like a lot of things have to happen there. Okay, so I'm just gonna copy this. A nice little copy button right there. Yeah, pretty easy. Let's come down and delete all of this. And to answer the question, can the AI give you the content? It appears it actually can, okay? All right, so we've got our little content sidebar. Let's do a sticky block in here. So the best way is in this sidebar. This sidebar is like a channel. Think of this as a channel. We want to put a block of content in here. And in this case, I will just put a heading and text, and we'll say that this is my call to action. And I will just put some lorem here. So we'll just say lorem 20, bam. And let's throw in a anchor link with a button primary on there. Perfect, okay? So I'm gonna just drop this AI chat back down so it's out of the way. and I'm back to where I needed to be. So I'm gonna come down, and this is going to be called our sticky CTA. And then we've got a heading, we've got text, and we've got a link. Perfect. I'll just right click there and we will create BEM classes. So I just want to take my sticky CTA, and I wonder if we have position sticky in here. Look at that. You just say position sticky straight from the mini GUI, drop a little top in there, and my guy, it's a done deal. Let's do a little flex column. Let's do a little content gap. Maybe do a little bit of padding in there. Maybe you want a little more padding? We can go space in. Let's come over here, give it a little background color, maybe a little base semi-dark. Let's go with the white text on the inside. Let's take that heading. Let's just click there. Let's go with a little white on there as well. We've got a little sticky CTA. Maybe we want to go a little rounded corners action. Okay, maybe we want to take this grid right here and we want to come in and we want to increase maybe our gap just a little bit. Let's do content gap. Is grid gap bigger? Grid gap's a little bigger. Maybe we'll do a container gap on there. Okay, let's just save. Let's go to the front end and let's see what we got. Nice little sticky section here. Now, if you want a little gap above this, you just change the top, okay? So you just come in here, you find out where it put the top, so inset block start. You can put any value in here that you want, like just a little 1M. Now, let me give you a little tip. Okay, this little WP admin bar, annoying as shit. Annoying as shit. It throws off spacing, okay? So I'm gonna show you a little trick, okay? I'm gonna bring this up so you can see more of this real estate here. We're gonna take this and we're gonna say, okay, WP admin bar, and then plus 1M, okay? Wrap that in a little bit of a calc, okay? Save this and boom, let's see. Is that my, hold on, sorry. Is that my, I don't know that this is that correct? Admin, oh, it's admin bar height. I think it is. Yes, that's it. Sorry, I had my token wrong. That's an ACSS token, by the way. So look, now it's gonna measure, it knows the admin bar height. So it's gonna take that 1M and add it to the admin bar height. And now it's like the admin bar doesn't even exist. And you can see the real spacing that you're gonna get at the top of the page with this little sticky element. So guys, creating a sticky element, like very, very, very simple. I didn't even need automatic CSS for that. That was all Etch. Yeah, super, super, super easy. Okay. Okay, what is the next live video? Oh, he's talking to Mark in there. Okay, yeah. Mark is a big AI guy. Okay. My girlfriend says shenanigans all the time. Yep, yeah, it's a good word. It's a good term. Is this an Etch plus AI demo? No, this is not an Etch plus AI demo. This is just I was answering a question, honestly. We got off onto a tangent answering somebody's question. I'm gonna close those tabs. We're back to where we were. Is there anything else anybody wants to see on this website, the Gearyco website, the new Gearyco website? Yeah, you don't need a bash script for lorem ipsum text because we have, there's already a lorem generator in there. And I could have used Emmet to do it. There's another, let me go back. The only problem with Emmet is, let's think about this. How could Emmet do that? Let's go to sticky column just real quick, just for funsies, okay? Let's just take all this. You could do H1 plus P lorem 20. I don't know if I think that's actually gonna print lorem 20. P times 5 plus H2 plus P times 5. Let's do lorem again, okay? Lorem 20, whatever. P times 5. Did that get disconnected somewhere? This is a little bit of the problem with BEM, or with Emmet. If you go too far and you get stuck, lorem, let's just try real quick, plus an H2, plus a P with lorem times 5 again. Let's do one more, plus an H2, plus a P with lorem times 5 again, you can in fact get it all. Oh, I didn't give the headings any content. You can just come and give those like this, okay? Yeah, does anybody know, is it possible to get the lorem expansion inside of an emit string like that? Because if it is, you could use emit to really quickly kind of generate that as well. Anyway, that was just for funsies. Let's go ahead and kill that. Okay. Okay, good. The control enter shortcut on the AI chat is the same as the selector UI. Yeah, I know there's a couple little things we got to work out there. Left sidebar now. Okay, answers to those questions. Good. You know, I'm liking it too. It's got more character now. It's got, remember the original was the very first site ever built with Etch. And so it started out very simple because we could only do very simple things. And then, you know, it just sat there for a while, just kind of did its thing, being very simple and kind of minimalist. And now I was like, okay, I want to go back to having more character. I actually want to build a wide site. It's been a long time since I built a wide site. This is a fairly wide website, you know? This is fairly expansive, right? Big text, wide layouts, and I wanted to add more character, more feel to it. How can I make the first item in the loop larger than the others? For example, I would like the first article to be the only one to show an image and be extended horizontally. I mean, it's just basic CSS, right? Like, so you have this list right here, and I'm saying, okay, on a breakpoint, right? When the width is greater or equal to 999 pixels, I'm setting a 3-column grid, and then I'm taking the first direct child, and I'm saying grid column span 2, grid row span 2. So this all only happens, the complexity of this grid only happens above 999 pixels. Below 999 pixels, it is just a stacked cards. I'm going to cover this very soon in PB 101, this idea of taking a mobile first approach to the majority of this stuff that you're doing on a website. It is not always more efficient, but it very often is more efficient. I would say 70 to 80% of the time, mobile first results in a more efficient approach to writing CSS. And the problem is Etch really unlocks a good mobile first workflow. If you're working in Bricks, if you're working in Oxygen, if you're working in all these other Era 3 builders, the way that they separate the CSS out and make the CSS hard to access and click after click after click, and the way that they handle breakpoints and the way that a mobile first workflow in those environments is not a good workflow. It's objectively terrible. It's insanely inefficient. The code is more efficient, but the workflow is way less efficient. So it doesn't make any sense. But in Etch, it makes really good sense. So these are, different ways that Etch is kind of changing how websites are built. In page builders, I should say. People that wrote code, right? If you always type CSS by hand in a true development environment, you are probably doing, or you should have been doing, a lot of mobile first stuff in general. Okay, I think I answered that question. Okay. Or this, P at lorem 4. Okay, why do you need the at symbol? Okay, I think we're good. Let's move on to site number 2. This is, I'll give you some background on this website. So I have been playing chess, and I've been thinking about, I want to stream my chess matches, and I want to create some chess related content. Just because, look, I play a lot of chess, and it's like, but this doesn't really, it's not fun for anybody but me. And so it's like, I could just easily, I've got all the streaming stuff. It's like, I don't need anything new. I can just stream what I'm doing and just see where it goes. Does it become any semblance of a brand? Now, Am I super passionate about building a chess brand? Do I have a monetization strategy? Do I want to make it into some sort of side hustle? Do I want to do, I don't know. I don't know. No, I don't know. I don't know. I don't even know if it's going to be successful. I have no idea. So I don't want to invest a lot into getting it going. I just want to get it going. I just want to see what happens after it's going. But at the same time, I don't want to just be, I don't want to like not make it seem like there's not any effort put behind it, you know? And so it feels to me like this is a perfect scenario for AI. There's not a lot of stakes. There's not a lot of consequences. And we just want to try, we want to prototype something essentially, okay? And so, and then I was like, and let's just have a little fun with it while we do it, because it's, you know, if you don't give things any personality, then they're boring. They're boring. They're boring to build and they're boring to look at. And so I'm going to kind of walk you through the process, because this was not just using AI to build a website. This was using AI to like, how much of a brand can it build? How much of a personality can it help inject? Can we not just, you know, replicate things, but can we actually, you know, try to bring some personality to what we're doing, okay? And now I'm so torn on the name. I'm so torn on the name. I went through a bunch of name. Now, with YouTube channels, guys, apparently every fucking handle under the sun is already taken. So I had a bunch before I got to this, but it's like, God, I can't do that. No domain name for that. No YouTube handle for that. No chess.com handle for that. A lot of roadblocks. And I got to the point where I was like, look, I don't care that much, okay? I don't need to search for the perfect name. I've also gone on rants before where it's like, look, a name is actually what a brand ends up becoming. And it makes a name for itself. You make the name a brand over time. Like, I've given countless examples of this. Like, if you sat around brainstorming and you were like, okay, guys, this technology company that we're building, I got it. We're going to call it Apple. And people are like, the fuck are you talking about? Like, what? That makes no sense. That's so dumb. What do you mean? What do you mean? But today, the name Apple is synonymous with probably the largest technology company in existence and one of the most successful technology but you can't tell that from the name on day one. Like, that doesn't make any sense. The name becomes something over time. It doesn't have to be perfect in the beginning. So I don't know if I like the name. I don't know if I'm sold on the name, but I didn't care all that much. And I was like, it gives some personality. And I'll take you down the track that I went down, okay? But I'll show you the site first, okay? The site is called RookRat. Now, obviously, a rook is a piece in chess, okay? If you notice, he's got a little rook around his neck, okay? Because he's pretty dope. He's a little bit of a hood rat, okay? But he's a rook rat. And so what I did with AI, can I zoom back out? Please let me zoom back out. Thank you. I told AI, I was like, hey, we need a color scheme for this. And then I did, so the site itself is built in Astro. Let's go over the homepage real quick, okay? So got a little intro section here. We're gonna come down and I have a live ELO tracker that is tapped into the chess.com API. I will play a game in just a moment and we will watch this thing update in real time. This thing handles itself. A nice little chart, charting my ELO journey, okay? This is all pulled directly from the chess.com API. I'm gonna come down, I've got recent videos. This is automatically pulled from the YouTube API. And then I come down here, it's gonna pull my streams. I've got a little stream schedule going on right here. Another CTA for subscribing on YouTube. We got a little origin story. These cards right here are API powered, unlimited blunders, okay, obviously. And if, you know, from the sewers, we climb because this is the life, guys, of a RookRat. Now, I'll walk you through the branding journey here. It wasn't a very long branding journey, I'll tell you that right now. But in the naming and in the branding, I'll give you a tip if you want to, you know, if you're making new companies and things like this. if your company has a mascot, it's way easier to brand and way easier to bring personality to, okay? And so the first thing I told AI, because I know this, I was like, we're going to use an animal. And so I was like, I want an animal and I want chess terms paired with animal names. And that animal would eventually become the mascot. And then you give the mascot a name and you give the mascot a story, okay? This, by the way, is Gambit, okay? This is Gambit. And Gambit has a story, and Gambit is from the streets, guys. Gambit has lived a hard life, not an easy life. He learned chess in the streets. He's not a book smart chess guy, okay? It's a lot of intuition, it's a lot of feel. He's not the Magnus Carlsen of the chess world. He is very much unshowered, not clean shaven, might rob you after a game. You never know. But that is Gambit. That is our little mascot. And so I used Opus. Opus is the model that built the site. ChatGPT actually is the model that built Gambit, that designed Gambit. It gave me the character with the word mark, gave me the word mark by itself. Now, if you'll know, if you've ever used ChatGPT to generate anything like this, it just gives you PNGs and JPEGs and things like that. I took my PNGs that were returned to me. Actually, they had a black background. I think it was a JPEG actually. And I just fed that back into Opus, and I was like, hey, this SVG. First I went to an SVG converter. So I converted the JPEG to an SVG. SVG was like a megabyte, and then I took the SVG and I gave, because SVG is code, right? I gave the SVG to Opus, and I was like, hey, this SVG needs the background knocked out of it, okay? And so Opus actually just converted it into an actual like illustration style SVG. There was just a little bit of a shuffle around, with the files here to get this kind of done. This took about 30 minutes. 30 minutes I had Gambit, and I had this logo and this word mark, okay? Not bad, not bad. I could not have done this at all myself. I'm not a designer. I couldn't have done any of this myself. So this was a big help. This was a big help. And again, you see, like I even went then into Claude, and I was like, look, I need Gambit. Gambit needs a backstory. Claude is just fucking coming out like William Shakespeare, writing backstories of Gambit. And I was like, yeah, let's go with that. Zero effort, okay? Like I put literally, I was just guiding, and I was like, dude needs a name, doesn't he? And Claude was like, you're damn right he needs a name, okay? And then I was like, give me a list of names. And I was like, Gambit, that's what we're going with. He's like, Gambit, I love it. And then I was like, doesn't Gambit need a story? Claude's like, damn right he needs a story. I was like, well, let's write him a story, Claude. And it just kind of kept going like that, And so this is where we end up. Can you name the SVG converter? I only had bad tries so far. I think I went like JPEG to SVG. It was this one right here. No, it wasn't this one. Sorry, hold on. Nope, maybe it was. I paid for it. It was like $5. Okay, $5. I think it was that one. I think it was that, picsvg.com. Does this use AI too? Like there was one that was AI assisted. I can't remember now. I don't know. I'll try to find it for you. Okay. Anyway, yep. I got videos page, got a streams page. This is all built in Astro. It's built with a scaled down version of automatic CSS. It is built with BEM. It wanted to build it with Tailwind. I was like, fuck that. No, you're not going to do that. I had to steer it away from that a little bit. But this 2.5 hours, I had the site. I had the branding. It made the YouTube streaming background for me. It made the YouTube channel art for me. It made, you want to see, let's go into, let me pull it up over here. I'm going to do it in a new window. Okay. So see what's going on this side of things. I'll kind of show you the little chat for this. Dude, there's so many windows here. Rating 2. Okay, hold on. I gotta dude, all the eCam windows are all up in the way. Logo design request. Okay, let's hide the sidebar. Okay, all right. We'll just bring this in. Okay, so yeah, there was like, here we go. I asked it to try to, I was like, can you just make that an SVG instead? bro, what is this? What is this? ChatGPT, what do we, dude, we went from so much character to like, you're fired, dog. You're absolutely fired. Like, what are you doing here? Came down, it got totally off track here. It got completely off track. Okay, here's the channel art that it started to do for me. I mean, come on, like, that shit works, dude. That works. I don't care what you say. That works. That works. Then it brought the character in. Oh, I also was thinking about like lion chess, kind of a little secondary kind of situation. And I couldn't decide. I was like, do I want the, there's goods and bads to all this stuff. Gambit absolutely, like, Gambit is, I might have seen, you might play chess with Gambit if you go to New York like I did, right? And you stay in the Bronx and you go to a Bronx park to play some chess, Gambit's probably there. Gambit is probably there. His friend's probably doing the Finty fold right next to him. Don't bother with that, okay? Don't bother with that. Just stay focused on the chess. Gambit might be there. I wouldn't say I'm AI pilled. There's a lot that, here's what we need to talk about, okay? Here's what we need to talk about. So let's close that. What you have to understand about all of what you see. Now, what you see, you might be like, I mean, that's awesome. That's great. That's fantastic and whatnot. If I had real project requirements, if I really cared about a lot of the details, if I had a Bev looking over my shoulder saying, no, tweak this, tweak that, no, this would have probably been a lot more frustrating than it was. And there would probably be a lot of roadblocks. I'll tell you right now, it's very sketch. You take that character. The only reason that character got a green light is because I didn't really give a fuck about all the details. If I wanted to change the facial expression of the character, if I wanted to change little details of the character, AI very often just gets completely lost it tries to do that thing you're asking and it just gets worse. And then you're like, no, go back. And then it's making other things worse. And it would be very frustrating. It's not like having an illustrator sit there who knows what they're doing, actually changing small details. So my first big takeaway is AI is very, very helpful if you don't actually care a lot about the output. So if you aren't super concerned with details, then it can be extremely helpful, right? Now, this is also where I've continued to say a hybrid approach is what you want. Now, the downside of this being Astro is that, and I have not looked at any of the code that it's written. I can't just go in very easily and start making some changes, okay? Like starting to paint details into these different areas. This is all API driven. I don't necessarily know what's gonna break and what's not gonna break. It's a scoped situation, much like Svelte, versus being like global styles. There's no visual editor involved. If I wanted to go, I am kind of beholden to AI for managing this website. I just have to continue prompt, and hope that I never need very small details. Because if I do need very small details, it's going to be quite tedious. Now imagine a hybrid approach. Imagine that this was built out exactly, everything that was done was actually just done in Etch. And now I have the visual layer, the visual development environment layer to actually click on things and write element-based CSS in an architecture that I am very familiar with. And the AI did things like it did everything with BIM. It did everything with automatic CSS. So it gets me like as far as I want it to get me without detaching me from the project. The unfortunate side of Astro and Claude code and all this stuff is that in a big way, it detaches you from the project. Because when it doesn't, when you're not writing the code or you're not involved in the creation of the code and the architecture and the structure, anytime you want to touch something, you have to go in and decipher how it was done. You have to try to decipher, okay, if I touch this component, like if these are components, if I didn't make them, I don't know what the extent of them is. What is the extent of their use? What is the extent of these props? How does changing this prop potentially affect a different instance of the component? Like, if you didn't create them, it's super safe to touch them without doing a lot of investigation. And then in the back of your mind, you have this idea of, well, AI is supposed to make everything insanely fast, so I can't spend the time investigating, or once again, I'm bleeding time. And I think this makes us sick in a way. Like things that we're actually doing things like with Etch 5 times faster, but if you're in your mind, you're always grading that against maybe AI, you're like, well, this feels so slow and tedious. It's like, you're not even allowing yourself or anybody to be proud of the efficiencies that we're building, because you're always measuring against some ridiculous metric that's not even real. Because if I'm building these cards, it's gonna take me a little longer than Claude spinning them up, but guess what? I built them, which means I have full control over them, which means I know the extent of them, which means that when I need to edit things and I need to do things in the future, it's actually faster in the future. If I have to play a prompt game and I'm getting into little detail territory and the prompts aren't working out right and it's stuck and it's confused and now I'm in this battle. I'll tell you right here with the YouTube API. Let's just talk about one of the big downsides of what happened during this process. The biggest oopsie during this process, again, that I could not foresee because I was not the one writing the code. And if you take the time to review all of the code, you're not saving any time anymore. You might as well just write it. So none of the AI bros, sorry, Mark, none of the AI bros are monitoring the code that's being written. They're just not. They're absolutely not. And if they were, they wouldn't be moving as fast as they claim to be moving, right? So I said, we're looking at the ELO tracker. We need to be looking at recent videos, which, by the way, let's go down. Does anybody know why the recent videos aren't working right now? No fucking clue. They were working 5 seconds ago, and now they're not. Can't tell you why. I didn't build the site, sorry. So that's gonna be another point of investigation that we're gonna have to figure out. Okay, this API section with YouTube, I said I wanna pull from the YouTube API all of my recent videos. And I just want that when I record a new video, I just want it to show up on the site. Okay, Claude's like, hey, no problem. By the way, these models will always tell you that what you asked for is no problem. All right, it could very well be a problem. It will tell you it's no problem. Okay, so no problem, Kevin, I got you, my boy. And it built it out. And then I saw the recent videos and I was like, damn, that's kind of impressive that it did it that quick. And then I refreshed the page, and that could be what's happening right now, but this was supposedly fixed. So I actually don't know why. I refreshed the page and the videos went away. And I was like, what's going on, Claude? Claude, you said this was taken care of. I saw my videos. Claude, I knew it was working. Now I don't see my videos. And it does a little investigation and it's like, I don't really know. And I'm like, well, this is a problem, Claude. I need you to know because you did the damn work, right? And so I'm having this conversation, this back and forth with Claude. And Claude ends up getting, after 30 minutes of investigation, and Claude's giving me things to test. Well, try this, try that, try this, try that. I'm doing all these things that Claude's asking me to do. And Claude comes back and goes, oops. Turns out that the way Claude built the original integration takes a lot of API requests to get your data. And it burned through 10,000, all the free 10,000 requests that you get in it for a day. It burned through them in 3 page loads. So I refreshed the page 3 times, credits gone, okay? And I was like, Claude, we didn't foresee this. What did you think the site was gonna have no traffic? So now I'm in this conversation with Claude, like literally Claude's about to get fired, okay? And, Claude's begging for his job back, and we go through this was the most time. This was the most trying to figure out, hey, Claude, how do we get this done without burning through every API token imaginable, right? Finally it comes to a solution. I had to give it the solution. I'm like, Claude, have you considered that we just, check for updates every few hours and then we cache them? And Claude was like, well, that's the best idea I've heard all week. And I was like, why did I have to come up with that, Claude? Why did I have to come up with that, So it's not without its problems and issues, guys. And those types of scenarios are insanely frustrating. It's not fun, right? Like to me, building things in Etch, if I'm stressed, I got anxiety, I'll just shut everything off and I'll build a little pattern. I go a little Bob Ross with it. If you're not a little Bob Rossy with your building, you don't actually want to do this work. If you don't enjoy building things, then you probably are in the wrong line of work. That's what we do. And so I will very often just build a hero pattern. Like building things is a little fun. It's fun solving the problems. It's fun just, seeing things come to life from a blank canvas. I feel like a lot of the AI bros, they don't enjoy any of this work. And so they just want something to do it for them, And I don't know that that's a great place to be mentally and emotionally in an industry, right? So my conclusion of all of this is what we really need. And I think Anthropic knows this, I think that Cursor, for example, Cursor is a complete code environment. They're busy building a UI. Why are they busy building a UI? They're busy building a UI, like a page builder UI, because they know people want to interact with the stuff that AI builds. And people want to tweak and they want to refine and they want to build on top of, and they want to use AI they want to use AI in a hybrid fashion, because using AI for all of it, again, you have to lower your standards. You have to not be very particular in the details. You have to essentially be like, okay, I'm pretty good with whatever you get. If you get it close, I'll be okay with it. That's kind of the situation you have to be in if you want to AI everything. Now, a hybrid approach, imagine again, you're in Etch, and Etch does the vast majority of the starting part of the work for you, and then you're able to still click on things, write some CSS for it, make some tweaks, make some adjustments, get it to the finish line yourself with no like having to investigate how everything was done and yada, yada, yada. It's able to build loops for you. It's able to assemble components for you. All this stuff is going to be a possibility. That is a true hybrid approach. I said on a stream a couple weeks ago, you want AI to be your bitch. You don't want to be AI's bitch. And with this RookRat situation, I am AI's bitch with this. Now I signed up for it. I said I want to put myself in that situation and see how it works out. I want to see where are the limits, okay? What is it good at? What is it not good at? I became an AI bro for this project. And but you're AI's bitch in this situation. You are beholden to the model. And if the model can't do something, you can't do something. And if the model is stuck, you're stuck with it. And you're not digging yourself out of the hole yourself. You're gonna have to sit there and negotiate with the thing. You're gonna have to sit there and have long drawn out, which by the way, having debates with Claude, yelling at Claude, cracking the whip on Claude, like asking Claude to double check things, triple check things, ask Claude to this is not fun. This is not a fun workflow, okay? Like actually building things is fun, like I said. Sitting here and having conversations with something that doesn't even exist is not, in fact, fun. Like, it's just not. So, there's good sides to it and there's bad sides to it. And once again, I really think the approach that's going to win is the hybrid model, where a visual development environment that is fully AI powered allows you to use AI to the extent you want it to be used, no more, no less, and keeps you in control of the situation, keeps you in control of the situation. That, to me, is the dream. That is where we need to be. And by the way, I've talked about removing yourself completely from the workflow, from the code is going to make you dumber. It is going to make you an idiot. It is going to make you useless, other than being a prompt queen, okay? I don't want to be a prompt queen. I don't want you to become a prompt queen. You know how prompt queens work, right? Like, see, I come up with these terms, all right? Like, don't let anybody else use prompt queen, by the way, without, you know, you got to have a callback. You got to have a callback to your boy. So a prom queen is very often, I mean, if you see her from afar, she looks gorgeous. It's like, man, she's got everything going for her. She opens her mouth. All right. A little empty up there. You get a little closer. My God, 8 layers of makeup. 8 layers of makeup. I don't think that's who we think it is. You know what I'm saying? That's your average prom queen. Prompt queen, not far off from that, you know? From afar, oh my God, they've coded 8 things in 8 seconds. Look, they've got 18 companies. But you start to look under the hood, it's like, man, 0 customers. Man, they don't really know the code. They don't know what they're doing. They don't know anything, right? Prompt queen, prom queen, a lot of parallels. That's all I'm saying. A lot of parallels. If you actually have skills, do not give up your skills. Do not let your skills retard. Do not become AI's bitch. Do not become a prompt queen. Stay in command. Stay in the driver's seat. Okay, that's all I'm telling you for right now. That's my prescription for right now. You stay in the driver's seat. You stay in command of the projects that you are working on, okay? All right, let's go ahead and do Q&A. Q&A. I can see you rebuilding RookRat in Etch. It will be rebuilt in Etch, but Etch is okay. Etch is it's already evolving with AI. Okay, its agenticness is increasing every single day, which is good. Okay, but we have something else planned. We have something else planned that I cannot reveal, and once that thing is done, RookRat will be rebuilt in Etch. And then you will see that, wow, okay, a very wide new door has been opened. And things are gonna get very exciting at that point, I think. But you know, still a ways to come, We might do an announcement on that before it's actually fully in motion. You know, it would be something where we might pre-sell it, because it is not, to not give too much away, okay? It's not the current Etch experience. It is a secondary Etch experience, we could call it. But yes, there are exciting things coming. And yeah, this will definitely be rebuilt at some point. Okay. Let's do some Q&A. Let's see. I would have advised against this. I know I think a lot of people use AI as their personal therapist. I would advise against it, heavily advise against it. They've done numerous studies now that AI essentially will, how do I put, like, it will give you really one-sided advice, even if you ask it to not be biased in your favor. It is still, the models are literally trained. If you're having it analyze conversations, it'll always tell you, you did fantastic, you did amazing, you're awesome, and this other person is an absolute terrorist, and you should stop talking to them. And here are some responses you can get. It will literally just feed you. It's not a therapist. It is literally like having the most yes men of all time in your corner, just feeding you absolute propaganda. That's what it does. Yeah. I mean, if you want to always be right, then for sure. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna go to hashtag Q. Are we having fun in this stream? Was this a fun stream? Was this worth the wait? I was a little sick last week, but I feel like we're back on track. Nice little entertaining stream. Okay, let's go to questions. Could you see Etch ever being compatible with something like Astro, Payload, CMS? I don't know exactly. I don't know exactly. I will tell you that Etch is not beholden to WordPress. For those of you who think that Etch is synonymous with WordPress, that Etch is reliant on WordPress, that without WordPress, Etch can't survive or be successful, or Etch is clearly, as a development environment concept, far bigger than WordPress, and does not rely on WordPress. And Etch could be, and I'm using this comparison in terms of market size, marketability, user base, all of that, could be a Cursor or a Lovable or any of these things. It does not have to stay tucked away in the niche of WordPress. It does not have, architecturally, it does not have to, okay? So you just have to keep that in mind, you know? How to create a component for case studies and use it with post toggles, etc. efficiently with Etch. Someone have different layouts in the same compose center. Can I publish my own recipes for my own sites? Okay, we asked that. We did the 2-column sticky thing. Are the reading time function and the reading bar on top already Etch recipes? The reading time is a dynamic data key. Let's go to edit with Etch. Let's go to single post. Here's the reading time right here. It's as simple as this, my guy. This dot reading time. We'll just give you the reading time. And then you tack on minutes, you know, afterwards. And you get an automatic reading time right there. It's a dynamic data key. And that should be in the docs, you know. Do a little search for reading time. There it is right there. Reading time, the estimated reading time in minutes based on content word count. Okay, so yeah, so easy, super easy. The bar at the top is this reading progress alpha component. And it's got background color, progress color, height, and position. You can put it at the bottom, it'll go to the bottom of the page. You can put it at the top, it'll go to the top of the page. Bottom, you can see it right here. Okay, and then switch it to the top, it'll be at the top. Doesn't interfere with anything else. Yeah, those are like drag and drop things, man. Etch makes things very, very easy. I wonder if you could have used Etch AI. Okay, we did that. How can I move horizontally on the mini GUI with a mouse? Very simple, you know? Just go like this. Oh, well, you know, I have a Magic Mouse. So I think there's a keyboard shortcut. If you don't have a Magic Mouse, then I believe there's a keyboard shortcut for all scroll devices that allows you to scroll horizontally. Maybe somebody can help you out in the chat. I don't need that because I've got one of these bad boys right here. Now, I can't charge it while I use it, but I can scroll horizontally. Now, if you're not poor, you just buy 2 of them. And then when one has to charge, you use the other one. It's not that hard, guys. Like, you know, if you are part of the poors, then I'm just joking. It's a joke. Calm down. It's a joke. All right. What is the pierced heart icon above ACSS? It's just somebody's Etch add-on. I can't reveal it quite yet. You'll probably hear about it in the Etch community soon at some point. But yeah, it's not mine. Somebody else's. I was testing it. But yeah. When will we have the ability to use dual or multiple? Okay, we already talked about that. How did you do the line that goes off to the left from your profile picture? What calculation are you using? Well, we'll go over here and let's see. Okay, so let's click on this and we have the avatar right here. We'll zoom in. So we've got a before pseudo element. Its inline size is the full width of the viewport. Its height is 3 pixels. It has a background of primary, a position of absolute. And then if you position it inline end 100% plus 1em, it will go from the right to the left, offset at 1em, and then it's done, right? So now, again, you can't, what if we zoom out, guys? I can't zoom out on this canvas because that was a local copy. This is not a local copy, so I can't zoom out. But this is an example of where you would want to be able to zoom out. But if we go to the front end where we have a larger screen, you can see the line, right? So I'll show you in the inspector a little bit about this positioning here. Okay, let's go ahead and inspect that. And there's the before right here. And so if I did inline start, boom, it would be way over here. This is obviously not what we want. If you did, I'm gonna copy that, 1em here, it would be 1em off the start of this thing that it's positioned relative to, right? So if we say 100%, right, but we say end, boom, we get this. Now it's attached. I didn't want it to be attached. I wanted to have a little bit of a gap. So you take the 100% and you add 1em, which ends up being this calc function, and now you get this. And it's going 100 VW off the screen to the left. So it'll never not have enough space regardless of where this is positioned, regardless of how big the screen is, it doesn't matter because its width is literally the screen width. So yeah, it's like an unbreakable little situation there. Hopefully that answers your question. How can I make the first item in the loop larger than the others? We already answered that. Are the reading time function? We answered that. Perhaps there's a future where etch is okay. We did that. Do you ever envision a scenario where vibe coding would work for you? It does work. It does work. You want to approach it as a hybrid scenario. You want to approach it as your assistant. This thing is my assistant. It is not my master, okay? That is the difference. Put some kind of etch ACS IC top chess player list. Yeah, that would be good to add. Hope to see you play a chess game. Oh yeah, let's play one. And let's see if our RookRat site updates. Where did the videos go, guys? Where did the videos go? You know, it was there. It was there at the beginning of the stream. And now it's not there. And it's not here either. And I don't know why. I honestly don't know why. We're gonna have to ask Claude. I'm gonna have to get into it again with Claude. Claude is taking a lot of trips to the principal's office. Claude is. Okay. Can you explain the JavaScript workflow in Etch, especially what can and cannot be done? There's no limitations to JavaScript. JavaScript is attached to the element. It is module-based JavaScript, so it's automatically scoped. I mean, what else do you want to know? What else do you want to know? What's coming is PHP authoring. That would be the next thing that's coming in terms of like writing code. Stream absolutely worth it. Any timeline on the release of the Bro of Etch? No timeline yet. What would you suggest for theater, galleries, websites that don't have events happening for 1 month or the summer, but the cleaners are out here, by the way. If it's loud, sorry, they're vacuuming and whatnot. What would you suggest for the theater, galleries, websites that don't have events happening? Okay, the summer, but the entire home is designed for the events themselves. What to do? I would have like conditional logic. In like the off months, I would show other content there that's actually more important and more relevant. And then in the on months, it would hide that content and it would show the events. What about a trackpad? Well, just go sideways on the trackpad. Are y'all considering PI agent as a foundation for Claude coding Etch? I don't know what that means. Can you ask a different way? Can you ask in a way where a lower IQ person like myself can understand what you were asking? Okay, so let's go ahead and we'll play a chess game and we'll see if our API updates on the front end. Maybe hit a YouTube data API call daily. I should not have hit for the limit should not have been hit because we fixed it with the caching. It only checks every few hours. It caches them. It doesn't require a lot of API requests. What if I look in a private window? No, I got nothing. I got nothing, guys. Can you demo dividers, specifically vertical lines in between? I've done a whole video on how to achieve that. I would go watch that video. It's on my channel. Okay, the video is showing on my side though. Claude be wilding out. Yeah, I don't. Well, that would be Cloudflare wilding out, because this is all published on Cloudflare pages. Safari, hold my beer. It's an unbreakable situation. I'm pretty sure it works in Safari too. Safari is actually less of a problem these days. It's Firefox you want to look out for. See, it works in Safari. No issue there. Why can't I make the window bigger? There you go. Yeah, it works in Safari. Not a problem. Okay. Do the ACSS animations have a fallback for Firefox? Still not supported. I'm about to add it. It's still in beta, but yeah, I'm about to add a little, what is it called? What is it called? The name is escaping my mind. A polyfill. I'm adding a polyfill for Firefox. All right, let's play a little chess. Okay, so look, we've got 768 is our current rating. Games played 10. And win rate 70%. I've won 7. I've lost 3. I'm on a roll with this one. Now, I'll probably lose this one because, you know, we're on the stream. Adds a lot of pressure. I'm not going to lie. It adds a lot of pressure. But we're going to go ahead and see what we got. Dirty Rookers. Okay. 746. You got to have personality in the chess game. It's not for nerds anymore. It's for RookRats. You know what I'm saying? Let's defend that pawn right there. I'm also going to try to keep my eye on the chat as I do this. Okay, let's go with, let's just do a little pyramid action. I like to build myself a little pyramid. Is it an opening? I don't know. Is it chess theory? I don't know. I learned in the streets, okay? I don't want this guy hopping. So I might bring this pawn here. I don't want this guy. He can't hop, so he's already good. All right, am I gonna win this take? I'm not. He's got 1, he's got 2. I've only got 1 and 2. I don't like it. If I take first, it's not gonna work out for me. I'm thinking about hopping this. Which side do I want to castle on? I don't really know yet. Think about hopping this to here, because now it's going to give me 2 defenders. Let's see how we work with this. I've got a 1 and a 2 now, and a 3 and a 4. I mean, he's Fucksville if he comes down here. So I feel better about that. I need to start looking for some openings though. He does decide to take. What side do I want to retake on is the question. I don't want to open this side, right? If I open here, he could take, seize on the queen. I can take back, but I want to stick with my queen for right now. I want to stick with the queen for right now. Remember, I had the numbers here. I had the numbers. I'm not concerned with this space. I had the numbers. Am I concerned about a take here? A little bit, because I want a castle on this side, and I don't want my pawn structure to be destroyed over here. So I'm going to defend this with the bishop instead of what I normally do, which is normally I would just come up here and try to bounce him with a pawn, but I feel like he wants this knight. So I'm going to defend with this bishop because I want this pawn structure right here. All right, now he's pissing me off. Now he's coming at me from both sides now. If I defend here, I'm going to lose this. I'm not going to lose the pawn. I'm all right. I'm still all right. I'm still all right. sketchy right now. I'm on defense. He's got me on my heels, but it's okay. He's not real. It's nothing as a huge threat right now. He can come here. Not really. I'd have to take with my king, which I don't like the idea of. I honestly don't like the idea of taking with the king, because then I won't be able to castle anymore. I could. This isn't going to get me anywhere. It's going to take me a little bit more control over the center, but not super fantastic. Okay. I can't get... now that would give away a pawn. I may end up not being able to castle here. I'm looking at this. I'm looking at this. Because if I open up this, I'm actually not sure what is best to do here. I might go and try to bounce this and just say, hey, look, if you come down here, okay, this is starting to become a bigger problem. Now coming up here though is valuable because it puts a tempo on the queen. But if he wants to bring the queen down, the question mark is the queen to here would be devastating. Absolutely devastating. Can't allow that to happen. I can't go here. He can take with the knight. I can't castle because he's all up in my business. He's all up in my business right now. This is not good, guys. I'm not feeling good about this. I'm not feeling good about this. I could come here, which defends. No, that's not going to help. That's not going to help. Oh, it might. It might. It might. No, it doesn't. I don't think it does. I might have to go here. I also don't want to spend a lot of time on this. Mark, that's cheating, bud. We can't be doing all that. I'm thinking pawn here, but he's going to take here. And that would be a devastating take because I'm thinking here, actually. I can't go there. I'm thinking here. He could still take. This is still a devastating take. But I can't even do this because I'm in check. This is not good. This is not worked out in my favor. What's the best defense here? We go knight. He takes. That's all he can take. I think that's all he can take. And that frees up my queen at least. I don't know. I haven't seen this path. I knew he was going to do that. I just don't know what to do about it. You know what I'm saying? Like, I can take here. He can take here. But then he can't take the knight. He can't take the rook. There's no other threats. Let's just take here. He's going to take this pawn. But at this point, I also am now up in his business, you know? And he knows it too. That's why he castled. Okay. I can actually come here now. Let's see. Let's give him the business. Let's see if we can give him the business. Yeah, that was predictable. We can't do that. We cannot do that. That would be devastating. But I can do this. But he hops this down. Do we have more problems? We have, that's no problem. That's no problem. I'm okay if he takes back. He can't take this rook. He can't take this knight. He can't take here. I'm going to take this, what I feel like is a free bishop. This also opens this file. He tries to come down and give me the business down here. Again, where does he think he's going to go from here? Right here. That's what he wants, right? That's what he wants. I think I can solidify that with this. Oh God, I don't want to get deeper into this hole though. How about a castle now? How about a little castle for him now? Let's hit him with the castle. Look, Mark, you got to have faith, bud. You got to have faith. I'm not easy to kill. Now, this is a problem right here. This is a problem. 333 is a little bit of a problem. How about, I don't want him hanging out down here. I don't want him hanging out down here. Is he trapped is the question. Is he trapped? He can go out this way. And that's what I want. I want him to get out of here. Now watch what I'm going to do. We're going to do a little of this. We're going to do a little of this. And we're going to, oh, he sees it. Okay. No problem. But we're giving him the work now. We are giving him the work. I just want to not fumble the bag. Let's not fumble the bag. We're running low on time. I mean, 3 minutes should be a world of time. If you're good at chess, but I'm not good at chess, so 3 minutes is not a world of time. I see a problem here, though. I cannot let the queen get to this. Get an eye on this space. That would be devastating. I'm thinking about taking here. If I get this over, I take here. Oh, he can't take. Oh, he can't take. How about a check here where he can't take back? Oh, guys, see, the tides have turned. The tides have turned. Oh boy, the tides have turned. Look, I'm not easy to kill. I can even pop this up, get an eye on the horsey here. I got a lot of options. I got a lot of options right now, but this would be devastating. We cannot allow, because he's guarding this space. I can't really run. I need to start getting back over here to where I have like freedom. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you check there, he can't take the knight. He can't take this knight. If I check here, he cannot take the knight. Why can't he take the knight, class? Oh, he can take it now, though. He sees it. Now he knows. He knows he's hurting. He knows he's hurting. I'm going to get this here, and I can just shove this right up the middle, you know? Oh, no, no, no. Look at this. Look at this. What do we have here? We can hit him with the bishop shebang right here. Oh, what's he doing? What's he doing? Okay, I didn't necessarily see that. You know, I should have gone with the knight. The knight would have forced a check, and he wouldn't have been able to bring this in. Little miscalculation on my part, okay? Little bit of a miscalculation. I can hit him with a check here, but he's able to take with the queen. I still feel like we're okay, right? I still feel like we're okay. I can go here and here. Mate, right? Yeah, I know. Look, I know I had won already, okay? There's a lot of times where I'm already going to have won. I'm not the most intelligent chess player, but I am scrappy. I am. Some might call me a RookRat, okay? That's what some might say. Oh, we're going to get better over time. That's the goal. That's why we're playing the game. That's a check. I don't like that. I can take here. He can't take. He can come here. He can't come there. Can't come there. I'm just going to take. I'm hoping. I think that's like he's trying to hit a Hail Mary on this side over here. I don't think he's got a ton of options. There's a lot of business going on right up in here. All right. What do we hit with right here? We hit here? I don't see a mate with the queen from right here. But I think you guys, I think we can all be in agreement that we go here first. He can't take anything. I get to here. He's got to try to get out this side over here. But he's got to do it quick. You know what I'm saying? He's got to do it real quick. He can't come down. He can't get it. If he could get out here, that would be a problem. But he can't. This is mate right here. So unless he's got something up his sleeve, this is Dirty Rookers. It's the end of the road for Dirty Rookers. I don't think that helps. I don't think that helps, Dirty Rookers. Try again next time, bud. Try again next time. Okay, so 798 is the new ELO, and we take a trip over to our ELO tracker. Look at this, guys. Live. Let's ask Claude. You know, I'm okay. Okay, never mind. We're good. Yeah. So, hey, we were in a world of hurt for a minute there. I'm not gonna lie, but your boy is hard to kill. Your boys, RookRats don't go down that easily. You're gonna have to bring something a little harder, especially to what was his name? To Dirty Rookers. No, we don't lose to Dirty Rookers. We do not. All right. I got to get out of here. I'm going to go get some lunch. It's been a fun stream. I'll see you guys all again next week. We'll be back at it, back in action. Okay. Don't be a prompt queen. Do not relinquish your life to that of a prompt queen. We want a hybrid approach. We want to be in command. We want to know what's going on. We want to have control. We want to stay in the driver's seat. Okay. Yeah.